Hello guys, thank you very much for coffee. Today is quite good day because Toolbox goes into 1.00 branch after 5 years. And let me introduce the changes and all the features that are in the new version. Remark, this version is only for HTX color LCD radios so far. Alright, so what you can see is new dashboard, and more or less is the same as the last one, but let's go through the navigation. So on the left side we have this RC link panel. On the top left there is a VTX panel, in the middle model panel, on the right top radio panel, on the right side battery model panel, and this area I call main panel. This area is side panel. There are a few indicators, flight indicators. Over there are placed for toolbox indicators, and here is the bottom panel, which is some additional information I will show you, like MSP, throttle, things like that, date, timer, and flight mode. Okay, so what is the navigation? So if you want to switch the main panel, you use the page next, and it will scroll through different main panels. Side panels is switched by page previews, so you can check. Here is the compass, here is the small artificial horizon, here is the GPS panel, and the bottom panel is switched by tele key. I mean, now you have an MSP status. Then this is more or less for beta version, like how much memory is used, and throttle. Alright, additionally, throughout all the modules you've got this quick menu. If I press model, and you can see there are different options. Okay, escape, we go through. Alright. So how do we get menu? It's under FLysky. If I press S, whole screen changes, and you can't see much because it's not configured yet. But let me go through this screen. So on both sides there are small indicators, so you can always see what is the status of RC link, or radio battery and model battery. And in the middle there are place for modules. On the top side there will be shown icons for modules. So far nothing configured, so I'm just two. First is configuration, second is about. So how do I select models? You just press this again, and now we enter selection mode. You can see the about is highlighted, and if I press enter, I will go through this model. This is about. You can see which version, like application version, of course the website address, and you can see what kind of version you got here if someone caffeinated me. And okay, so let's go through configuration, and let's configure for ELRS WOOP. So to configure, we go to menu and we select with the sys next model, which is configuration. And on the bottom side you've got number of pages, different pages. This will differ depending on what we configure. So far 4 pages. To navigate, you just press page next, or page previews, right? So first things first, we need to choose protocol. So I've got ELRS WOOP model, and so I will press the enter key, and now scrolling the roller you can choose different model. Okay, so there are different protocols implemented. Bear in mind the implementation differs from protocol to protocol. There are some like TBS or ELRS that are fully implemented, and there are some that are partially implemented. In beta 1.00 beta, we have FLysky, TBS, ELRS, Immersion RC, Ghost, Spectrum, and FLysky. FLysky is the least implemented, just very preliminary. Anyway, okay, let's go back to ELRS. So I'm choosing ELRS, and pay attention, if I select this, there will be another icon, Telemetry, because we already selected the protocol. Okay, some options, like you can choose which version, branch 3.0 or branch 2.0. I've got 3.3, so I'm choosing 3.0, and some levels for indicators, RSSI, RQLY, and signal to noise ratio indicator. Okay, those are defaults, so most probably you will not have to change them. All right, so as you can see here, there are more pages because we already selected configuration pages, because we already selected RC protocol. Okay, so let's go to the next page. Model battery, no power voltage. This is voltage that is considered that there is no power. I usually keep it at 2.7, but you can go lower if you have Lion. If you have Lion pack, minimum it's considered for indicator. What is the minimum critical level cell low voltage level? For my WOOP, I usually go 3.5, and max voltage. This is very important. If you have high voltage HV LiPo, you should go here a bit higher, because it has even 4.5 as a maximum, because when you connect the LiPo pack, there is usually peak voltage peak more or less up to 4.5. And okay, so let's select 4.5 and visual. What will be the alerts for the model battery? You've got a few options like just visuals, visual and sound beeping, visual and haptic, and all of them. Okay, let's go for all of them. Critical only, or you want both low and critical. Okay, so that's configured. Next page, we go to favorite battery. And this is thing because this configuration was done to overcome the problem with the sensing of LiPo cells. I mean, there's an automated procedure that tries to find out what is the number of cells, but as long as we increase the S numbers by cells numbers, this procedure will fail because of the math. There is the hysteresis that will make this procedure, this code, make some errors. So you can define for the model, you can define some pack you used, LiPo pack. So let's set something. Okay, so the first battery you can choose from LiPo, Lion, or LiPo or Lion. And okay, so let's select LiPo. For WOOP is 1S, and I'm using 300 100 milliampere hours pack, but also I got bigger one, so I will select another one, favorite cell. It will be 2 cell battery with a 550 capacity, and the third one will be also LiPo 2 and 500. It will be 750 pack. Okay, so those are the favorite batteries. Okay, next page. As we are going into airplane area with the toolbox, usually they have or have no flight controller. This is not the case for drones. They usually have flight controllers, so no problem, but with the airplane. So you can define if flight controller is installed. And I will say yes, it's installed. You can see now we have additional modules connected with the flight controller, like you can see arm stops and you can see sticks, commands, and you can choose now what kind of firmware type you've got installed. So of course Betaflight, enough too. Let's stay with Betaflight, and the last option is MSP. This is protocol that allows to read data from flight controller. So let's put it on, and here's a version of MSP used. I know it can be confusing, but my recommendation is to stay with version 1. You can choose version 2, which is the newest one, but there are several different bugs in Betaflight and iNav with the MSP over telemetry. So I would recommend to stay with version 1. And the next one is how often we read data from flight controller. So every 3 seconds we will be reading flight controller status. I mean those errors, arm stop errors, and we will be reading VTX settings every 10 seconds. You can choose here, I think, from up to 5 for 4 seconds for status reading, and I think yes, up to 10 seconds for VTX reading. The more often you set, the more data will be transferred between radio and flight controller. So I recommend do not go very low, like 1 second, because it will be very CPU intensive. Okay, let's leave 10 seconds and let's go to the next page. And here we can define if VTX installed. There are many options because there are many configurations, but since we have FC installed and which have chosen ELRS protocol, if I select that VTX is on board, okay, next model VTX is appearing. You have only one option for VTX, that will be flight controller MSP. For the other protocols like TBS Crossfire, there are other options like direct reading VTX, so there will be some more options, but for ELRS it's only through the MSP protocol. And there are some protocols like, I don't know, FLysky, which do not allow to read VTX, so there will be no option at all. Okay, so let's check this. And proxy, what is proxy? Basically, if we have chosen flight controller MSP, the toolbox will read everything from Betaflight, like VTX tables, VTX channel tables, VTX power tables. It will allow to set channel and power and things like that. So To avoid reading every time you connect the quad, there's a kind of proxy. I mean, the first time you plug the quad, it will read those data from flight controller, then will store it in the file on the SD card. And every next time, if proxy is on, it will use the proxy data rather than the actual flight controller. There is an option to reread those proxy files if you change something in Betaflight settings. Okay, and here is a last option, frequency range. You can set to show only the European channels allowed, US channels allowed, or everything you want, from the very illegal low band to the very high 5900. Next page, sorry. And those are favorite channels, so you will be able to switch channels through the VTX module, but there is also so-called favorites module, so you can define 8 different channels considered as your favorites, and you will be able to very quick switch to these channels. So okay, this is very simple. Like let's set, so my first favorite is R1 and my second favorite is just R8. That's it. Okay, and basically that's it. This page is visible only if VTX on. If VTX is on, if VTX is set to off, like not installed, you will not see, of course, this page. Okay, next page, it will be 7th page. If GPS is installed. Of course, I don't have a GPS in my whoop, but for the demonstration purposes, I will set this to on, as I have some kind of simulation here. Okay, so if I switch it to on, there will be next model, which is GPS, and the only option now is you can define how many satellites you need to be able to fix home position. Okay, default is 7. Sometimes I use to 5. I do not recommend to go below 4 or 5 because home position will be very inaccurate. Okay, let's stay with 5, for example. All right, so this is GPS, and the next page are indicators. So there are 2 kinds of indicators. Some of them are independent of flight controller firmware, and some of them are dependent of flight controller firmware. So of course the first indicators is if your quad is armed, and we've got it can be off, of course. You can define that you will have this indicator based on switch, logic switch, or it will be taken from telemetry. Again, there are some RC protocols that will not send ARM status via telemetry, so the only option will be switch, like Immersion Ghost. Immersion Ghost is not sending arming status, but ELRS is sending arming status via telemetry, and it's always better to have confirmation from quad, not from the radio, because if you have a switch, you just know that the switch is in the arm position, but you are not sure that actually quad is in arm position, is armed. So it's always better to have telemetry confirmation. Okay, throttle cut. This is made specifically for the airplane guys, but I've got something simulated. Also options. It is switch or logic switch. I've just made a simple logic switch that checks the throttle. If throttle is a little bit high, it will make throttle cut active. So it will be throttle logic switch 18. All right. And throttle limiter. This is this kind of indicator. If you have your throttle limiting configured in HTX, you can here define what is the input to show what is the level of throttle limiting. I've defined this as trim 5. Okay. And the last indicator here is how we deal with the timer. So now the HTX is dealing with the timer. Whatever is set there will be displayed. But you can also define the toolbox is dealing with the arm timer. So let's go with that, and let's say we will be using timer 3. We will let toolbox use the timer 3 to count the arm time. Okay, so that's all. And the next page is firmware dependent indicators. So if you choose as firmware Betaflight, there will be Betaflight indicators. If you choose iNav, there will be iNav indicators. So basically the first 3 are flight mode, and this is the same. The best way is to take it from telemetry, like in ELRS protocol or TBS protocol, but in Ghost we have no flight mode transmitted, so you will have to set it either to switch or logic switch. Okay, we have ELRS, so let's leave it on telemetry. Air mode, again there is an air mode indicator, and this is not sent in any RC link via telemetry, so we just need to configure it on switch or logic switch. I've got this on logic switch, and for air mode my logic switch is number 15. And turtle mode, called crash flip also, and also this is not sent via telemetry, so only switch or logic switch, and I've got this on logic switch 7. All right, so almost done indicators, and the last thing is theme. So with TOOLBOX 1.00 beta we've got themes. Usually you've seen this carbon plate theme, and it's nice, but in direct sunlight it's barely readable. So I've designed a new theme which is silver metal, and pay attention because this needs toolbox to be reloaded, right? So once I have set this to silver metal, toolbox will be reloaded. Go reloading, and we have new theme. Okay, since I've configured everything, you can see now data full populated. I'm simulating this, but this is already configured. Let's go back to carbon plate for the demonstration purposes. Okay, so we have carbon plate back again. Okay, so this is how dashboard looks when everything is already configured. You can see that there is a VTX, and here is a small sign that data will be read from FC through MSP, and we are waiting for data because telemetry is not active. On the left side there is a RC link panel. We already has the main indicator is RQLY, and there are 2 more indicators and all various data. Here is a model, battery, and everything is populated. So let's change with tele key our bottom panel to MSP, and I will show you the simulation when the telemetry is active. You can see now here is a small indicator of telemetry. Actually it serves as both. You can see if telemetry is on and off, but when it's on some RC protocols you will see telemetry quality, so how good telemetry signal is we receive telemetry. How good is the telemetry stream we are receiving from the model? Okay, so let's go and press simulate, like telemetry is on. All right, so now we have all data populated. Let me switch to throttle again. And let's go through the various indicators. So from the top side, we already read the VTX, channel is R1, here's an frequency, here's the power, depending on what kind of VTX you can have milliwatts or just the name, like in Smart Audio 2.0. And this small triangle means that there is a low power mode enabled. Okay, here is the radio battery status, and I can simulate battery, so pay attention. I will drop the voltage. Okay, 38%. At some point it will go yellow, so just first warning, and at other point it will go red and blinking, which means radio battery is depleted. Okay, so this is radio battery indicator. Okay, date and time, of course. Flight mode we configured from the telemetry, so I'm simulating now. This is acro mode. Let me check which switch was. Yes, this one was for flight mode, so I can changing flight mode. And arm timer, it's not armed, but once I arm, which one is for arming? This one. Arm timer will start to count. Okay, you can also see that MSP it's put on hold because we are not allowed to send any data with MSP while we are flying, so it's on hold. Once I disarm, okay, MSP is working again. Okay, let's go to our ceiling panel, various data, and the main indicator is RQLY for ELRS. Let's simulate. I think no, that's T5. T5 will be simulation. Okay, we go at defined point, it will go yellow, and then it will go red, and if it's really bad, it will go red and blinking. So basically 0 means we have no telemetry. Okay, the next one is RSSI. For the ELRS it's in dBm, so which one is here is simulation. Okay, the same, if it goes to the predefined level it will go yellow or red. Okay, and the last one is RSNR, which is signal to noise ratio. Then signal to noise ratio is in dB, and it goes up to 0, sorry, up to 50. I think -4 is the lowest we can have. Next is TX power. You will see the power of your transmitter module, and the last one is what kind of RC link we have. This is ELRS 3, and the speed is 100 here. I don't know why 100 I've said, but I've said 100. And the last one is telemetry quality. So this will be simulated, and you can see normally it will be like 100%, but if telemetry quality drops the same, you've got warning, and once it goes to 0, you will have this blinking indicator that we have no telemetry. All right, so that's it. Let's go to battery. There are more data. So regardless of cell number in the pack, you will have average cell voltage over there. Let me change where is the okay, here's the simulation. Okay, let's go with the, I can see I've got now simulated 25 pack. Okay, so you will be able now to see how the auto sensing works. Like we go down with the 18 volts and the cell, and the toolbox is trying to define what is the average voltage and to count how many cells based on total voltage is set. But this cannot, oh, okay, so now I have 2.9 and it's thinking that it's 3.1. I will show you how to set the favorite battery and it will be better. But let's go to some small voltage, like battery voltage is 4.4, so it's 1S, and let's go less, 2.8. It's below the minimum level. The resolution is not too good. Okay, but anyway, this is the average cell. On the left side, there's a small indicator showing how much percent of your battery is left. And this is also connected with Betaflight settings or your favorite battery is set. So if you connect battery, it will be 100%. And when the battery, there's consumption, it will drop till 0. Okay. To have it work properly, you either have to set battery capacity in Betaflight, or I will show you in the module. Here is battery pack connected. So you can now choose. Let's say I've got 1S300 pack connected. Okay. Consuming is go red because it's 500 over 300. And now what happens now is that the capacity is set to 300, so it will be basically the percent will be taken from consumed. Let me change consumed to some value which is in the range of 300. Okay, it is now 0. This is simulation, so I've got to simulate things, okay, but let's say 0 is consumed. So you will see, of course, that left is something like 100%. Once there is a consumption sent, like, okay, we consumed 200 milliamperes, of course, the left value will be lower, okay? So basically, I recommend to set your own battery, whatever you have, and then to select while you're flying, because those two, like battery left and the cell number 1S, will be properly set. If I change here to 2S, pay attention, here's 1S, and let's say it's 2S now. So Toolbox is assuming we have 2S battery connected, so of course voltage will be much lower. Let's go up with the voltage now. Yes, total it's 7.6, so it's okay. And so it's setting number of cells and it's setting battery capacity. So basically with this set properly, those indicators will work properly. And on the right side there is a current indicator. It's in amps. Let me check which indicator. It's inverted. I mean, if it's 0, it's okay, and I think it's set that warning is over 100 amps, and the critical is over 150 amps. There is not yet configuration for that, so it's hard to call it, right? Anyway, so this one is inverted. Okay, consumed, we covered this. This is taken for telemetry, how many milliamperes or amperes, because if I go higher, like you will see it has changed now. It's ampere hours, not milliampere hours, 1.1. For the big packs, you will see those values increasing. Let's go even more high, like 10 maybe. Yes, 10.1 ampere hours for really big packs for airplanes. Okay, and I think it's not hard coded yet how much is consumed, like I mean percent value. I will add it in future version, but now I think the thresholds are like warning is at 80-70%, and critical it's at 90% consumed. Okay, and the last is the cell number indicator. This will be taken from auto count or whatever you send over there. Okay, let's change back to our artificial horizon. So that was the battery panel. Let's go to the main panel. You can see now. So let's change for, we already covered battery pack connected, and we already also configured VTX favorite channels. So what you will be able is to select your favorite channel, then long press enter, and it will send this information and change this channel. Okay, and the next one is artificial horizon. So there are different things. This will show you different things. Like let me show you one thing. If I set that the GPS is off. Okay, GPS is not installed. Let's switch it off. Okay, there will be no icon for GPS module. And then look, the artificial horizon is very basic. Why is that? Because we do not have any information from GPS like altitude, speed, things like that. So it will just show you the pitch and roll and the yaw, like position. Of course, if this is set and this is transmitted through the telemetry. There are RC link protocols that are transmitting this data, like ELRS, TBS, and there are some that do not. So if do not, this will be this artificial horizon will be inactive. Okay, let's go back and switch the GPS on to show you some features of artificial horizon. So basically on the left side you've got ground speed, and here's the number. Let me simulate this. Just check where is now, as it was to simulate. Okay, and I think with the throttle, yes. Okay, so you will be able to see here is on the left side there is an ground speed simulator, level, what I've set to level. Okay, here is the indicator for level, current and level. Okay, so now I can go with the ASL. It means above sea level. There are two of them, and with GPS we've got always altitude above sea level. If you have barometer, you will have above ground level, but with the GPS we have above sea level. Yes, we can go negative. I haven't called it negative values on the scale, but we can go negative. We can go below the sea level or below ground level. Okay, so here is the above sea level altitude, and of course here is an pitch and ground. You can see now, we can see heading, because GPS is sending this information. What is our azimuth? Where are we going geographically? Okay, and the artificial horizon, of course, left, right. You can see now the arrows for pitch and arrows for roll and pitch. depending, and of course the color of the sky and color of the ground depends on amount of pitch and roll. I mean, let me lock the roll axis, and we are going up. Okay, and now we are heading straight to the ground, so the ground is very dark green, but once we will be leveling, the ground will be normal green. The same applies to sky. The sky is, let's say, dark blue, but if we aim 90 degrees, if we are aiming straight into the moon, it will be light blue. So you will have two kind of information. First is numerical, what is your heading or what is your pitch and roll, but also color information, so you can judge more or less, am I pointing straight to the sky or straight to the ground. Okay, let me show you maybe the next panel, which is basically very similar, artificial horizon, but just simplified and small one. So you will see, of course, all the data. This is done because if you have selected on the main panel something different, you still want to see the artificial horizon. Okay, and the next one is GPS. Okay, so let's go to GPS, and GPS is some simulated data. It's fixed because we've got simulated 7 satellites. Here's the satellites information, like how many satellites is visible. Does the firmware thinks that it's fixed, because there are different ways, but if you see fixed, it means that the Betaflight firmware thinks that the number of satellites is enough to be fixed. Okay, so the next icon is home, and this will be GPS home position. The next icon is kind of compass heading, so we will see if you are going to the home or from the out, inbound or outbound. And the last one is your aircraft position. Okay, let me arm, so we will have this home position set. Arm was with SB. Okay, and now we have additional information, and so basically what is happening now, your quad position is copied into the home position. It's assumed that your home position is your quad position before you took off. You've got also this indicator of heading indicator, a compass indicator, and how far distance from home. Okay, so let me simulate something. How do we simulate? Just a minute. I think it's over there. Okay, no, I think I've simulated. Okay, I've simulated home position with that. I'm changing now quad position. Okay. So once I'm changing quad position, you can see that I'm going farther from the home, and those are changing. And you've got here additional indicator. It means you need to turn left to go home. If your home position is within 60 degrees, you will also you will not see the triangle, but you will see the home icon indicator. Okay, I think this is the other one. Okay, we are changing. Okay, now you can see the home. I'm simulating the home is changing position to the left, and once the home position is outside the 60 degrees field view, you will just see the triangle. Okay, let's go back. Okay, and now I can see the other panel, which is this compass, and this is quite fancy. So what you will see is the green dot is your aircraft azimuth, while the red dot is your home azimuth. Basically, if you want to go home, you need to align those two dots. Whatever ground course you have, whatever you so you don't have to calculate in your head, okay, what is my home course. Let me try to simulate something. I will change, okay, I will change home. Okay, let's say the home is now on 210 heading, and we are flying like almost north, or like 2 or 3. And let me change. How I've changed. Okay, here is the simulation for the quad. So look what happens when I'm changing the aircraft heading. Okay, I'm trying to align, I'm turning right. Of course, this is not simulated fully, but now it's like I'm turning right, and once you already can see in a field view home icon, okay, once I'm aligned, two dots are aligned, I'm flying straight home. And of course, you've got this numerical value. My heading, aircraft heading, is now 214 degrees, which is more or less southwest, something like that. Okay, and if we switch to the third panel is just a basic, this artificial horizon and the heading. So let me switch this. So let's assume we are not seeing the main artificial horizon. If I change my heading, you will see, of course, this dot changing, and you will see also this artificial horizon working. Okay, so that's side panel, and the last is the bottom panel. So I can see the throttle value. Okay, throttle value, this is the one, and I can see my throttle limiter. So let me change T5. It's for simulation limiting. Let's go up to no limit. 100% range is for throttle. Once I start to cut it, or let's say limit it, like I want to limit my throttle only to 80%. Okay, so you will see here the amount of throttle limit. If I go to indicators, let's go to indicators, VTX installs. Oh, sorry, we have to go to throttle limiter. Okay, let's switch it off. It's off. Okay, now you won't see any limiting. Basically, throttle will be applied. I think okay, now I can show you throttle cut. Okay, so because I've got logic switch which checks throttle position, so if quad is disarmed, and the throttle will be a little bit up, you will see throttle cut information. Okay, so additional information why I cannot arm my quad. Okay, that's okay, and that's it. I think that's it. I should show you, let me switch off the GPS simulation. I don't know if I can show you in simulation how okay, now you can see I've got on my logic switch throttle mode. It's configured on switch SH. If I switch, this indicator will show throttle mode position. Okay, and there is also air mode, but I think I cannot simulate. Okay, this should be all. The last thing is model, because of course you can see model, and let's say you will see once it's armed it will go green, but there are additional things. I think I can show you simulation, like for example for ELRS protocol, or CRSF protocol, which is used in TBS and ELRS. There is also a kind of information that you can arm under some conditions. So for example, if you set in Betaflight that you've got GPS installed, but you don't want to wait for the GPS fix, so to have your home position set, you can still arm and fly, but this indicator will show you yellow, so that means you can arm. It says no GPS fix, okay? You can arm, but be warned, because something is, different from the normal states, okay? So this is the first state, and the second one, if something is wrong and you cannot arm, okay, this area will go red, and it will be if you have MSP configured, it will try to read from flight controller what is the problem with the arming, okay, and you will see shortcuts here of your problems, and later you can check it in the arm stop models. All right, so basically these are almost everything. Maybe one more thing, okay, let's do not simulate error. And there is this quick menu available, so let me show you. Now we have all alerts audible alerts, so if battery goes low it will beep things. There is a shortcut. If you are annoyed with that, or something is wrong and you don't want to hear, you can quickly mute those alerts. So let me check it. Now all audible alerts are muted. And what else? Let me show you. So we've got some telemetry data. Okay, I can show you one more thing. Forgot about that. So now we simulate the telemetry is active. What will happen if the telemetry will be not active? Okay, it will dim a little. The telemetry sensor is showing, okay, no telemetry. And now we have some kind of backup of data. So we do not receive any more telemetry data, but we have those last values. So let's assume that we just finished the flight, and okay, you just checked everything and you want to be prepared for the next flight. So you choose reset flight data. If I set this, everything will be reset to defaults, right? And let me check now, check the simulation, telemetry simulation, bam, it's already over here. Let me switch off the simulation. Okay, again, model, reset, flight data. Okay, what else? You may want to reload Toolbox. This feature is intended for the widget mode, which is not working yet, guys. It's not implemented in beta widget, so only application mode. But it may happen that you need to, for some reason, to reload Toolbox. So if you choose the reload Toolbox option, it will just reload. Okay, let me simulate. And there is the last nifty feature, which is error handling. That was a big thing, because something goes wrong and the application just as we say in Poland, go into the bushes. Like everything crashes and you have to restart and things like that. Now we have error handler. Let me present how it works. Okay, so for the beta version, I've included some testing, error test, but of course you will spot some errors, of course I know. So, but I want to show you how it looks. So let me emulate error test. Bam. Okay, so we've got now this window, and this is not critical error. I mean, it happens once. So at that point, if you press return, you will just close this window and it works, and the application is working, continue to work. Okay, there is one more thing in the interface. First of all, there is an icon with the exclamation mark. That means there were some errors. Second, there is new panel only if error strong. So if I go with the main panel, you will see lower errors. Okay, date, time, and what was going on. I've emulated in QuickMe in line 100 one-time error test. Okay, but if there's something going wrong and you've got some errors, you will see those errors here. I haven't emulated the critical error, because critical error means the error is repeating, and you just application cannot work anymore. In this case, Toolbox will try to reload itself. It may help. Once it will reload, you will still be able to see what kind of critical error is here. Here, of course, I've got one error, but let me emulate the second one. Okay, once again, error test. Okay, so now I've got two errors. If I scroll here with the roller, okay, you will see different date and time. Okay, so if you have 7 or more errors, you will be able to choose those which one you are seeing. So I think we can now proceed to modules. Everything configured, telemetry is on, and let's check modules. Okay, so first module you've seen is configuration, but let me go through these small indicators. It is done to provide you overview with the crucial indicators on the data while you are using modules. I mean, you can see now the first one is arming status is disarmed, and the second one is RC link, so it's still 79%. We can change this, of course, with the simulation, so you will see what is going on. And telemetry, okay, telemetry is 100, but it can be low. Let's go with the, okay, RC link is still, but we are far away, so telemetry signal is quite weak. The radio voltage, okay, let's say, okay, radio voltage is low, some kind of 22%, and battery, I have to check. Okay, battery is low. So regardless what you are doing here, you will always see those critical values. Okay, let's bring back everything to green. Radio, okay, radio is over here, green, and telemetry green. Okay, all right. So once again, how to navigate. So basically, when you are in Dashboard, FLysky, and you go to this module display, but still now I'm able to navigate selected module, which is configuration now, right? So I can do something here. What if I want to switch to a different model? So basically there are two ways. First is you press again FLysky, the model is dimmed a little bit, and you've got this indicator that telemetry is selected. If you keep pressing sys, it will scroll through different models, and once you are happy with one, you just press enter. Okay, And the other way is that once you go into selection mode, module selection mode, yeah, module is dimmed, so we are in selection mode, you can use roller over there and quickly scroll left or right and select what you want. Okay, escape, return, and we are now in telemetry module. It's more or less the same. Few things were changed, so you can see what kind of protocol is selected, all the sensors, but the additional feature I added is that now you can check minimum and maximum values. So as you can see now, here is live. If I switch the telemetry off, it will be last. The values are dimmed, so we can see it's not live, telemetry is off, and this is the last known value of every sensor. But let's go live, telemetry off, the values are live because telemetry is on, and if I press page next or page previous, I will scroll with different kind of sensors. I mean, now it's live, it's current value, but you can see also plus with the sensor with plus, which is the max value, and minimum value. Switch telemetry off, and let's reset flight data. Okay, nothing. Let me switch telemetry on. We've got live values of all the sensors. If sensor is not discovered, there's a V-speed, why is minimum, should be live, okay. You will see not available. So there are many cases when people say, okay, something doesn't work because you have no proper sensor discovered. For example, if you do not have GPS installed, all the GPS like GPS speed, SATs, heading, altitude, and things like this will not be present, and Toolbox will say not available. If you can see not available, it means something's wrong with the sensor. You need to go to HTX and discover properly sensors for the telemetry, for the chosen RC link. Okay. All right. So this is telemetry model. So the next one is VTX. Let's check to change to VTX. It's reworked a little bit. What you can see on the left, on the top left, is the currently set channel with the frequency. Here is the chart showing the band, letter, and channel number. And with the roller, you of course can select different one. So it will appear on the right hand side. It is yellow, which means I'm going maybe to set it, or I'm going to see what is the value over there. Okay. So changing the channel is with the roller. If you press return, it will just cancel this selection. Then here is the actual power of VTX. I mean, what is actually set. So it's low. Here is the, basically this area is for channel, Betaflight channel tables, right? And this area is for Betaflight power level table. So we've got 3. This is Smart Audio 2.1. You can have labels and values, so labels are displayed, and if you want to change power, you need to press page next, and it will scroll through all levels. Okay. Here is a pit mode. Currently it's simulated as off. If you want to change pit mode, you need to press page previews, and if you press again, it will select and tele key is for low power mode. Okay, so basically if you want to change your VTX settings, you just choose, let me press return, it will cancel selection. Okay, so let's say I want now to change to R3 and my power to max. Okay, and okay, let's say I want the pit mode on. Now those three values are selected, and if I long press enter, of course this won't be simulated, but I will try. It will start to blink, of course, and now data is sent to VTX, and we are trying to set those new settings. Once we've got confirmation from VTX, everything is set, this will be changed automatically to new values. Okay, but of course this is not simulated, so I cannot show you on simulator how it works. But I will cancel this. One caveat: the low power mode setting is not implemented yet. I mean, you will see proper value what is set in Betaflight flight controller, but you will not be able to switch it on or off because it's different MSP command, and I haven't implemented this yet. Here you will see what is configured. I mean, we are using VTX, which is connected to flight controller via MSP, and it's using smart audio protocol, right? And there should be one more option, if read VTX tables, okay? Because if you change something in Betaflight in tables, you need, and you have those proxy file switched on to speed up the reading process, you need to reread this proxy file. So if I go here and say, okay, read VTX tables, it will bam, 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 bam. It's very, very quick. Normally in radio, it will be lower. It will read all the tables and store again proxy file. So next model is GPS. A layout is a little bit reworked, but more or less the same. So you've got a number of satellites on the left hand side, and if there is a 3D fix and all GPS data over there. Let me simulate GPS. Okay, and now I think you can, okay, aircraft, I can change aircraft position, simulate. And let me simulate that we are we fixed the home position. Okay, now it's fixed. So you've got everything: home distance, aircraft latitude, longitude, speed. Speed, I think it's over there. Simulated, yeah. Speed, altitude, again above sea level, 93 meters. Okay, let's change it. Aircraft heading, I can change over there, aircraft heading, home position, home latitude, distance from home, and home heading. This is the course, azimuth course you need to take to get back home. Let me change again to dashboard. This is basically that. So this is the aircraft heading or azimuth course, and this is home course. The course, the heading you need to take to get back home. Okay. All right, let's go back. Here's the thing. Okay, on the left hand side, you should see while waiting for the fix. You should see, like in Betaflight configurator, you should see satellites. But the thing is, There is of course a bug in Betaflight when MSP is transported via telemetry, not via USB. So something is wrong. I've submitted a bug like 1 year ago, but I just got the usual answer: it should work, but it's not working. The packets are reading for satellites are giving me 00000. Of course, only if we are using telemetry. If I go via USB, it works. Okay, so it will be solved at some point. And the next one is well-known arm stops. All the arm stops, you can scroll with the roller. You can scroll. You can scroll this, and here's a beep code shortcut, like old plain days with the first computers. So every single arm stop error has different. It's kind of like a Morse code. So if you plug the battery and something is wrong, your quad or your aircraft will beep with the kind of Morse code, giving you some indication what error causes the arm stop. So crash is long, short. If you press here enter, you will hear exactly this beep the quad or aircraft is doing with this error. Calibration: too long, 3 short. Okay. Description: what to do to deal with this error. Okay. I don't know if I can show live reading, because this is done with MSP. I've got partial simulation for MSP, but once the oh yeah, I can. Okay, there's an error. I'm simulating throttle. So once you have an error, let me check. Okay, you've got error here, right? And it says throttle level, because throttle level is too high. Okay, if you see that there are some errors and shortcuts with the throttle, okay, throttle. Okay, throttle level, it says throttle level. Okay, and you want to check exactly what does it mean, throttle level. You go over there, and since it's live, it will show only errors. If there will be 3 or 4, it will show all of them, and you can see what this error is about. Let me check. Okay, now I simulated. Just a minute. Okay. Okay, now we have 4 errors simulated. So with the roller, you will be able to check all of them. Okay. And go through all of them. And of course, if there is no error, I will switch off error emulation. You will see list of all errors. So basically, that's how arm stop model works now. 5th model is stick commands, so you can see what kind of commands you can issue through the sticks when quad is disarmed. Different one, we have chosen FC Betaflight, so it's Betaflight stick commands. And if you have different radio mode, you scroll with the page 3, 4, mode 4, mode 1, mode 2 to see what kind of combination of stick is valid for the command. Mode 2 is default because like 90% of guys are flying with the mode 2. Okay. What else? I think I can show you if I switch now. If I go, so let's go to configuration module, and let's page, where is FC flight controller. Okay, let's switch to INAV. Okay, let's switch MSP off and with INAV. Okay, and let's go now to to stick commands. Now you have enough stick commands. Okay, so these are different stick commands. So there are a few things in user interface that are changing depending on the configuration state. So the last module is about, you are seeing application name is TOOLBOX current version. I've added some kind of information, what protocols it supports. And of course here you can see either the light and some nice request for supporting, either it's Pro version, so your data will be displayed over there. Okay, so since we have now modern radios with different LCD resolution, I've implemented in TOOLBOX 1.00 support for those different LCDs. And as an example is Jumper T15. As you can see, the screen resolution is 480 by 320. Everything works like okay, pages. Here is caveat, there is no page previews separate button, so you need to long press this page button to change the side module. Telemetry will switch the bottom panel, and menu is for quick menu, and sys is for always for changing models. So everything works here. And another one, layout. That was a bit challenging because this is completely different layout. It's for FLysky NV14 or EL18. So I had to redesign everything from scratch, but this is how it looks. Let me switch telemetry simulation. So basically different layout, but still the same panels, VTX, model, radio, time, flight mode, and arm timer, the GPS, the main panel, side panel, those icons, bottom panel, and those panels that are on the sides on horizontal layout now are on the bottom. So you've got here the RC link panel and here the model battery panel, and everything should work like page. Of course, key are emulated via FLysky radio hats. You have to configure those hats to act as keys, but they work, so you can switch page, model, everything works on. I think here will be where is the switching of the model? Yes, the quick menu and bottom panel, switching bottom panel, and sys is over there. So let's go to telemetry model, same, and you can max values. Basically all the same features, just different layout. Okay, so let's go to about, a bit different, and let's change the theme for silver, carbon plate, and let's change for silver metal. And as I showed before, the toolbox will reload now, and now we have silver plate. So I'm very happy because this is the first time radios like FLysky will be fully supported. I would like to thank you very much for support. Project was started in 2019, almost 5 years ago, September, and I never thought it will grow up so nicely. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for support. I've received a lot of coffees, and that keeps me on the rail, especially in the morning. But seriously, it helped me a lot with project funding, as to produce good software you need hardware for testing purposes. So I've started with version for one black and white radio, and now something like 25 radios are supported. So that's enormous. Thank you very much. With so many of you assuring me that this tool is valuable, I will continue the project for the next year or maybe more. And roadmap is already full booked. To name the few features, I think the first will be port for Ethos system, and I would like to have better iNav support with MSP fully working, and what I've shown already, ability to configure CRSF devices from within TOOLBOX. So project's future looks bright, and having only 2 hands, I really hope I will manage to deliver all these features written in the roadmap. Anyway, with your support, it will be piece of cake. Guys, thank you very much again. Cheers and happy flying.